And I'm live. So in my previous video was aired with the stream, so I go live again. So case in point, Do the Bible Church runs Muslim ads. And one of my TikTok pastors then they collab with Andy Woods, who hype fear of Islam, and Do the Bible Church plays Ummah give a Muslim charity, and I call it Muslim charity because I look at the ad that they put on the video. Do the Bible Church make money from that ad? I've seen Andy Woods have those ads play on his videos too because he's a monetized YouTuber. And it's like face value, it's like looks like an Islamic ad, and it's called Ummah. And what is a charity ad? It's feeding kids in Gaza, and anybody sees a Muslim. So it gives the impression like this ad that's like an Islamic charity helping other Muslims, which I'm not against. Okay, so you had the Red Cross and Red Crest and stuff. So I'm not against the concept of Islamic charities. Okay, I'm not against Muslims having charities to help other Muslims, to help them eat if they're starving or get medical care if they need it. The issue is hypocrisy, where Christian pastors and Christian churches that are against Islam, we're against Islam, okay, Islam is wrong, they're making money from pro-Islam advertisement videos at the same time. So that why don't you just convert to Islam, Tom Segal and Andy Woods, and call yourself Imam Andy or Imam Tom Segal, and it'd be like we converted to a mosque now. We got to rebuild this church to a mosque. Got to be the imam. If it's like it'd rather be half. It's like I've got videos. Islam is bad, but I'm making money from Islamic ads on my videos at the same time. See, it's like it's hypocrisy there. So in my previous video, I was showing screenshots. I gotta pull it up again. Admin media, okay. Background media. Admin media, admin media here. Desktop. There, okay. It's not valid. You're gonna have to do this like screenshot. Okay. It's a screenshot of Duluth Bible Church advertisements. Since they're monetized YouTubers, there's ads to start playing watching videos. Okay. Gaza needs water now. So this ad started playing as I clicked the video because it's monetized. Donor ummahfoundation.org. Gaza needs water now. And they show Muslims in Palestine. Okay. So it looks like a Muslim trader to me, face value. I Google Ummah, okay. The Muslim Ummah, or Ummah, is the global community of all Muslims. The Arabic word means nation or community. Muslims around the world are united by the shared faith in God, Allah, and the teaching of Prophet Muhammad, going beyond borders, race, and language. I've seen these ads played on Andy Woods videos too, and that guy has videos that is like anti-Islam. And here's the main point I want to make, like the power punches I was there. 9/11 was an inside job, not done by Muslims. 9/11 was an inside job done by the deep state to control America from behind the scenes. They planned it more than 20 years in advance, okay, and then blamed the Muslims in Iraq and Afghanistan and take American freedoms from Americans and take all from them and just advance the satanic, tyrannical, deep state, New World Order agenda by that. So it's like a lot of Christians haven't woken up to this yet. But the truth of 9/11 is that the deep state planned the 9/11 attacks, the two towers being brought down, 20 plus years in advance, blamed the Muslims, started an unjustified evil war of aggression against the Iraqis and the invaded Iraq, Afghanistan, based off of lies, a false pretext that the Al Qaeda in this country are responsible for this. When in reality, it's the deep state that control America from behind the scenes are responsible for it. And they blame the Muslims. Do you understand? Um, and the deep state that owns slave puppet pastor like Eddie Woods, Benny Holtas, Tom Stegall, and Rafi Garner, I call them slaves because once you start taking orders from these people, you shield made. There's no going back. Meaning it's like once somebody, a pastor, becomes a shield for the deep state, they can't stop taking orders from them. Do you understand? They're locked in for life now. They wouldn't survive going, I'm done taking orders from you anymore. Okay. They're holding by the cords of the wickedness. And one reason is they're blackmailed because they've been involved in domestic terrorism by targeting me, a Christian, for the secret prosecution called Gang Stalk in the videos. So it's like they had to double down. It's like they got into polls, and we've been in broad daylight talking a Christian for secret persecution called gang stalking. More people are hearing about it. It's getting closer to being exposed, and we've been working for that in ways that might could prove in the court of law. We've been talking for that program in our videos, and it's like the deep state. We had to keep certain because we can get exposed as like sell-out pastors that target other Christians for a persecution program by satanic secret society cabal deep state fills. Okay, and so just on that basis, Lord, like you can never have a ministry and we'll come back from that. You get exposed as what you've been doing, what you've been working, what you've been doing for the deep state. And on top of that, it's like if you start resisting them, now they're gonna take you out. Understand? You're a potential whistleblower. Meaning you know too much. You know you've been put up to target people and been told by somebody to put this in a video and stuff. And the outcome is a Christian who's persecuted, watching videos can tell that you taught it for persecution program, communicating via threats and so this for the deep state. So anyway, support. I want to cover this topic. One of the ways that I see the deep state operating, they've captured puppet pastors. Rathink Arnold, Duluth Bible Church, and the Woods Banner Hotels. And they're using divide and conquer. Right? I can see they're all like on the same too, like synchronized swimmers. Was like the same week. It's like they're all making videos on Islam, the threat of Islam, Islamic takeover, fear, Islam is a problem. Same old thing. So that's divide and conquer for every type of deep state. So the deep state doesn't want Americans to see who the real enemy is. The deep state cabal Illuminati powers that controls from behind the scenes. They control Hollywood and hinted at 9/11 attacks in Hollywood movies because they control Hollywood in the 70s. Al Qaeda doesn't control Hollywood. That's the linchpin. Do you know why I can show you pattern recognition? Show you foreshadowing of 9/11 in Hollywood movies in the 70s and 80s. It's because the deep state control this whole world system from behind the scenes, the Illuminati, the cabal. They control it all, see? And they have sellout sales like pastor, they sell out, they live sellout. Search YouTube, they live the sellout. They have that type of person. Tom Segal, Andy Woods, other people. They sold out, see? And they don't get persecuted like me. It's like getting comfortable. I get persecuted and harassed, see, because I won't sell out, because I'm resisting the deep state. But these pastors, they get left alone. They don't have to endure persecution, affliction as a personal God by resisting the deep state. They sold out to it and they get left alone. Because they're serving the deep state, they don't have to get targeted by the deep state with persecution. Don't have people paid to harass and stalk them and target them. They don't get targeted with gang stalking persecution. Because they sold out to the same deep state that decide who's going to be gang stalked. Okay? It's like they have favor on their side, not God. So that's the point. The important point to teach here is 9/11, okay? The deep state planned 9/11 20 plus years in advance. They control Hollywood, which is why I can show you Hollywood movies where they're hinting at the coming 9/11 attacks. These towers will be brought down, collapsed this way, very sadly to the average person. But I can show you that they foreshadow 9/11. The deep state control pop culture. They control the music industry, the movie industry, like Hollywood. They control politicians. So that's a linchpin. Al Qaeda didn't control Hollywood in the 70s and 80s. See? So Hollywood, different whole production houses are foreshadowing the coming 9/11 attacks in the 70s and 80s. Like, is there even like fringe conspiracies that goes like the conspiracies, the Al Qaeda Taliban have been controlling Hollywood in the 70s? Okay. It's like there's nobody even like playing with that I see. I see a lot of people talk about the Jews around everything, and it's like always the Jews understand. There's a conspiracy, always got a chance that we know who's behind this. And anytime there's a conspiracy like a legit one, it's like, yeah, by the Jews. It's like there's a real conspiracy, but there's always somebody wants to call like pedo the Jews, by the Jews. Okay, so it's like now that inside job. Someone makes a video about now that was inside job, and we all know who's behind this. Understand? Zionists or something, whatever I suppose. So I'm not that type of conspiracy theorist that believe fake stuff like it's the Jews. Okay, it's all it's the Jews. It's not the Jews. The deep state are supernatural and multi-ethnic. Okay, so the deep state Illuminati are supernatural, multi-ethnic. So it's not that the deep state cabal Illuminati powers that goes from behind the scenes are all Jews. Okay, there's Jews, there's Gentiles, there's Indian people, there's Caucasians, there's this, that, and the other person. So anyway, here's the point. One thing that I see the deep state do, divide and conquer, is to hype fear of Islam. Okay, so puppet shell past like Tom Segal, Andy Booth and I think Arnold and Brendan Holthouse. one of the ways I see they control the body of Christ is to make videos about the threat of Islam and Islamization of America. And Islam is the threat. Where I think God makes videos saying that every mosque in America is an Al-Qaeda recruitment center. It's kind of radical. It's crazy, okay? Uh, and that's like projection scapegoat because the truth is, I've seen Christian ministries be a recruitment center for domestic terrorism. I'm a gang stalker video. You have gang stalk in America. And I've seen Christian ministries be recruited by the deep state to target for this domestic terrorism program called gang stalking. See? So it's like projection. It's accusing the Muslims and their mosques of what the Christian church are guilty of. It's like graphic con. If people have followed me on social media, they notice that I talk about Duluth Bible Church, a deep state puppet sellout church. They have targeted for this gang stalking program. What is gang stalking look into? It's domestic terrorism. Communicating veiled threats for this program. Talk with psychological warfare, probably all starts with physical warfare in real life. And they're a church, the pastor, and they started working for a domestic terrorism program in America called gang stalking. And then Rafi Gordon does that too, and Lewis does that too. And then Rafi God make videos about Islamic mosques in America on domestic terrorism, Al-Qaeda recruitment centers. That's protected because he's got a church and he's been recruited into participating in domestic terrorism type of stuff. Rafi Gordon. See? So anyways, the point. What I see the deep state doing, divide and conquer, by some of the puppet shield pastors, is hyping from Islam. Why? Because the deep state want to divide and conquer and divide the mass against each other. They don't want Americans to be like, the enemy is the deep state, psychopathic, globalist power elites that control the media and Hollywood and politics in America and shills, okay? They're the enemy, okay? It's the common enemy. An American citizen, we have an enemy waging war on us. The deep state that murdered 3,000 Americans on 9/11. The deep state that planned a pandemic in advance and made it happen, okay? And they were all, see, that's the enemy. The deep state Illuminati that control Brandon Holthouse, that control Rafin Cornell, that control Duluth Bible Church. They're the ones that pull off the pandemic. They're the ones that pull off 9/11. Blame the Muslims, see? It's like same old. They're the ones that control puppet pastors like Raphael Gordon, Brandon Holthouse, and Andy Woods to the Bible Church. See? They are the enemy. They're the ones that are working to cover up natural health. They're the ones that are working to poison everybody with the high sugar diet and tricking people to use softener when they wash their clothes and use all the fragranced chemical products all the time because they're not as good as the natural ones, the fragrance perfume for like natural apple soap. They want to use like the fragrance stuff. They want to be a soft little cupcake that smells like a daisy, you understand? That's what they want to be. Okay, so they wanted to serve Satan by drinking soft serve ice cream and eating soft drinks. Okay, that's how messed up want to be. Like buy a Coca-Cola, put it in the fridge because I can eat it, and then drink ice cream. We take the ice cream out, let it melt, and then you drink it. That's how kind of anti-what they want to be. They want to be a soft little sissy, soft cupcake. They wanted to use soft when they wash their clothes. They want to drink soft drinks, and they want to eat soft serve ice cream all the time because it lowers your testosterone and your IQ. It makes you more like you're less healthy mentally and physically if you eat a high sugar diet. And since anyways, the point. So case in point, the deep state what I see them doing is like puppet shield pastors that I can point out who they are. Brandon Holthouse is a deep state puppet shield that worked for the same deep state that did 9/11 and the pandemic. Okay. He's a shield for them. He can pretend to be against Fauci and against this and that. He's working for the same people. They're like he's a puppet, just like Fauci is. Just like WWE wrestling. It's like fake opposition. It's like Stone Cold Steve Austin don't like Hulk Hogan. But it's like secret, like on the same team. And like Vince McMahon is like, okay, so you pretend to be mad at this guy and he attack like this. Do you understand? So it's like Brandon Holthouse is a shield just like Fauci is a shield. And now you have this like kangaroo, all the world's estates, like, oh, look, he's getting in trouble. Pin this guy. He's the guy who was responsible for anything bad happening during COVID. Okay. See, Fauci. And it's like he got cast to play the role like, oh, you have to sit in court and get stern looks and people be like, we hold you in contempt of court. He never see like a whole day in prison. It's like if they're going to have a story that he went to prison, it'd be like they have camera crews from going to prison. It's like a basement, but it's like a back door, and somebody picks him up like Epstein and drives him off to like Elvis Island with Tupac and Elvis are sipping mojitos. because he never died on sensitive. The rest support. But it's like, do you understand? Okay, so it's support. It'd be nobody that sees him in prison. Okay, they have boarded up like a startup, so it look like, oh, it's fortune. Yeah, fortune. Okay, this guy get paid like $1 million a year to be in prison, pretending to be fortune or something like this. Okay, that's a crazy. Yeah, this is okay. It's like we add a little bit of like the. It's like this is like tongue in cheek. I actually don't actually believe that's specifically how these type of things happen. But my point is this: these puppet shell pastors, Baron Holtas, Andy Wood, Raphael God, the Bible should talk about, they work for the same deep state public that planned 9/11 advance to pull it off and blame the Muslims. Okay, and now I see a lot of these shells working to blame the Muslims and hype fear of Muslims was like the threat of Islam, divide and conquer. So basically, what the issue is, they're using Christian ministries and pastors and puppet shells to be like Christian Americans, Muslims are the threat, they are the enemy. When in reality, it's the deep state that are the enemy. They are the ones that are working to make people sick, they're working to poison people, they're working to plan evil things happening and kill them out. They are the enemy. They are the ones that did not like blame the Muslims. So it's like they're using Christian pastors to be like the enemy. Be worried and afraid it's Muslims, okay? And Andy Woods makes videos about Islam is dangerous to America, and Rafika makes videos Islam. That's the danger. And Brandon Holthouse. Well, and that's just used to get Christian Americans to be like, oh, the enemy is Islam. That's the danger. Rather than saying, no, the real enemy is the deep state Illuminati that control the world. Hollywood politicians, puppet politicians, puppet pastors, they plan 11 in advance, the pandemic in advance. And then, okay. So it's like, I'm dealing with people that are like children. The average Christian like children. It's like every video that I do here, it's like, oh, okay. Most Christians, I know that they don't even have woken up to 9/11 inside job yet. They didn't even wake up to how the war in Iraq, Afghanistan was bullshit. Okay, and like they wasted based off of bullshit lies. Okay, and it's like most Christians are at a very low level. So unfortunately, the average Christian can't be counted on to understand the truth. The average Christian type of person can be suckered into believing Andy Wood's a good pastor. You got a fake Bible and fake gospel. So I got to finish up. I'll finish it. I got bored to talk about this. So anyways, the point. Summarizing this, I'm not against Muslim charities, okay? I mean, these charities, they work to feed Muslim children or provide medical care for Muslims that can afford it. I'm not against that. But there's a hypocrisy thing where Andy Woods and other Christian ministries is connected to are anti-Islam and teach against Islam, but they make money from like Islamic ads being put on videos. The Bible teaches the love of money is the root of all evil. So it's like, why are you going to be making videos about Islam is bad and then be monetized on YouTube? And some of the ads that YouTube was showing in videos will be some kind of Islamic charity organization. And the Ummah is like a religious term. So it's hypocrisy. I got to finish up.